Hey there, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and this is an Isuzu Rodeo pickup truck fiberglass box camper, four-wheel drive. Comes with a 2.8 liter turbo diesel engine, and this one was bought from auction here in Japan for export to the USA. So we get a lot of inquiries about campers from Japan, particularly the big box style ones, but also the Hilux, i.e. Toyota pickup campers. These Isuzu Rodeos are pretty similar to the Hilux campers. They have a very similar 2.8 liter diesel / turbo diesel engine. In this case, it's a turbo. And so before we get into people quickly going and emailing us about stuff like this, we've got a great little write-up on the internet about buying campers from Japan. And you can find that at our website, www.pacificcoastjdm, all one word, /Japanese-campers. And you can probably find a link to that if you email us as well, or just check our website, you can find it there. But when you buy campers from Japanese auctions, it is a great place to get campers, but it's certainly not for everyone. And just a quick little heads up, you typically, when you're buying through the auctions, don't get a good understanding of the back-end equipment, whether it works or not, and so it is kind of a risky endeavor. Okay, so back to the review here. These diesel engines are pretty robust in my experience. This one had a problem with the alternator, and we had to actually get it sent to the shop and have the alternator replaced, and we had the battery replaced as well. Other than that, there's really no issues with it mechanically. Auction sheet says that it does have some corrosion. I'll get to that in just a second, but I checked the coolant and I checked the oil and everything was okay for that. It is smoking a little bit, but that's pretty common of a diesel of this generation. They had kind of bad emissions. Before I set this down, actually, let me just show you something. There's corrosion on the underside of the hood. You can see right there and right there. Now, it did say that there was rust on the hood. You can have the hood replaced if you want. That might be the best option for this. Some of the corrosion comes through here and up here as well, but I guess really up to you. Here's a view of what it looks like. We'll go into the interior later in the video, but first off we'll do the exterior. We'll check the auction inspection sheet. I'll show any of the damages, and then we'll go to the interior, probably somewhere around the 7 to 10 minute mark. Okay, so let me go ahead and translate this from Japanese into English. It's a 1991 Isuzu Rodeo camping car. Camping car is just the Japanese word for camper. 2.8 liter turbo diesel engine, 99,468 kilometers, auction grade 3, four-wheel drive with the manual locking hubs, and switchable between rear-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and low gear ratio four-wheel drive for going off-roading. Now it's an auction grade 3 interior C. Comes with power steering, no power windows. It's manual crank style. Original white color. It's more like a cream, in all honesty. Sales points here. It's camping car, aftermarket audio, diesel turbo, and then the report section here from the auction inspector. Let me just go over this. It says seat is saggy. AC doesn't work. Now I did test this. The compressor doesn't come on at all, and so it seems like it's an electrical thing, and then it might have gas that's maybe gone out. With a vehicle this old, a lot of times the original gas hasn't stuck around. Aftermarket suspension with a question mark. It's actually a Monroe suspension. It looks like it's upgraded from the Rodeo original suspension, but maybe the stock suspension for the camping car version. Aftermarket shift knob. Battery is dead. Interior dirty. Now the battery's not dead anymore. Obviously we got that changed. Cabinets scratched and screw holes. Camping body scratched and paint fade. Underside frame corrosion in several areas and some repairs. Now I did get an extra video of the underside. You can see the corrosion on the frame. It certainly looks treatable. No areas have any holes or anything close to a hole. It really needs to be restored is kind of the wrong word, but brush the corrosion down, repaint it, and that sort of thing to keep it running strong. Looking at the body here, we got some scratches on the back, some scratches over here, some paint cracks on the back. Now here's the important ones, C1 and S2, these are both rust. The S2 here is on the cowl panel. It's kind of bad, but you can replace this panel if you want, or you can repair it. You can see the surface rust there, but when you go to the other side, there's actually some corrosion right here. Okay, and rust and rust. So if it were my car, I would replace the entire panel, and I believe you have to take this bottom gasket piece out, but it should be pretty easy to take that out. Okay, paint peeling on the front section, and otherwise the body is pretty good. I would say overall my impression of this one, it's pretty good. One thing I don't like is that you can't stand up inside the interior. That's probably my least favorite part of it. The interior is a little bit of a strange setup, but we'll get to that in a sec. First off, a once around so that you can see it. Long overhang on the back, a lot of camping space for one of this size of campers. Fully sleepable up here, one bed plus kitchen, toilet, shower inside this one. Side awning you can see, lots of windows, hard mount spare tire on the back there. A ladder for the top, and there is a top cargo area up there. But I didn't climb up there to see if there's a solar panel. Let's see if I can maybe see it from this angle. No solar panel on this one. Some antenna stuff and other modifications. Okay. Now these have external power hookups. You could just use the standard electrical system of these. It will swap between Japan and America. All the plugins are all correct for that. Okay, so let's have a look here. Wheels kind of look like an aftermarket wheel. They're in a little bit bad condition. Tires are 2014 tire, so relatively old. But they have a good amount of tread left on them. The tires are soft, which is very nice. Front bumper has some surface rust basically all across it. And then there are some minor scuffs down here and some small cracks in the fiberglass over fender here. Now the auction sheet said paint peeling. It's right here, on the top of the grill here, the bottom of the grill, and the Isuzu badge. Okay, Isuzu makes a lot of industrial trucks. They know what they're doing with diesel engines. And so I would be very happy to have something like this. The Toyota ones are a lot more expensive, like at least 50% more for a very similar package. So this is kind of your value way to get in. And you get triangle windows. And who doesn't love those? And an extra mirror up here to give you better visibility. A vehicle like this would be considered very large for a Japanese person. Has a window on the front. Some of them only have the side windows here, and then it's pretty dark up there. But the window on the front really helps with that. And a lot of these windows will crack over time. This one appears to be okay. And the gasket around here, sealant may have been used on that aftermarket style. Okay, a little bit of rust on the windshield wipers. Those are a fairly universal item and can be replaced pretty easily. There's some chips in the paint. This is Yokohama Motor Sales, which is the company that makes the camper. You also get decals, and they're in pretty good condition considering they're, close to 30 years old now. Side awning is rather large. I didn't test it to see if it works, but it appears to be okay. A lot of the times when it doesn't work, you'll see it misaligned at the sides here. The door works appropriately. We'll get into there in a sec. You got some sort of a storage thing there. And when we check these campers, I don't open any of these boxes to show you what they are because it adds an awful lot of time to fumble around with keys and stuff. Back bumper has some of the biggest damage to the body. There's some scuffs here, some paint cracks here, a scuff there that goes down there, and then a series of flex cracks in the paint all along the back side here. Okay, and sorry for putting my hand in the way while I'm showing you something. All right, the ladder, it has a step here, right? And you're meant to be able to step on this, but that's where you got some of the flex cracks, and I think so. If you're going to step on it, don't step on the edge, but put your foot right in there to get a full plant of your foot. We have Ricky's DIY sign maker. That's weird. And Squid. And Camping Car Club on Facebook. Okay, so going down this side, we got a scuff down here, a little bit of paint fade along here, and there are some very minor flex cracks like this, and right here. That's a reverse camera. But otherwise, yeah, I'd say pretty good. I think it's a camper that somebody has been taking care of properly. Okay, so let's go into the inside here. You're sitting really low to the ground in this camper compared to all other types of campers, including camper vans and industrial truck campers. It's one of the appeals of this. Easy in, easy out, easy to drive, 5-speed manual transmission, a very heavy-duty clutch on it, and so it really gives you a feeling of robustness when you're driving this car. Like, I could drive this forever without anything breaking. It is 30 years old, though, so that might be a little bit deceptive, but at least that's how I feel when I start the engine and start driving it. Dashboard all looks fine. Has been smoked in, but it doesn't smell like cigarettes. Okay, feels very much like the Toyota trucks, like the layout and the shifter and this. I wouldn't be surprised if Toyota kind of had a hand in these trucks because they feel almost identical. Okay, there's a pass-through into the camping section here. Pretty easy to get through, I would say. And then you get 2 seats here. I think it's a total 7 seat belts. They'll mark that on the auction inspection sheet. Yeah, 7 seat belts. Now I played around with the interior a little bit and I put it into a configuration that is incorrect. And so my apologies ahead of time for that. Oh, same size tires front and rear and not dualies on the rear. Sometimes they do come in dualies, but they're very standard tire size, so it'll be easy to get tires outside. It's a 225 75 R16. Okay, so step up in. Here we go. And yeah, the roof, it's immediately recognizable that the roof is fairly low. I'm 5'10", and here's me right now. It's the same height all the way down as well, so you kind of have to hunch over everywhere that you walk around in. Okay, now this is really cool. You have a sofa on the side, and you kind of have 2 seats here, but take a look. This center box is a hard box. You can't actually move that out of the way. So I think it's supposed to be like it was when I came in, which was more like this. Yeah, let me just put the camera down while I rearrange these cushions. And I didn't do it very well. One of these cushions, or 2 of the cushions are triangular, and so you can see that doesn't really line up because that one's popped up a bit because it's a triangle cushion. It should be the one against the wall. But anyway, I guess this is how it's supposed to be, which is a little bit weird to me. Because then if you're sitting on this side, how do you sit there? Do you put your back against a hard wall? Maybe. You can get original flavors popcorn. There's a few cool little things like that. This one's really big, a really nice long leg section, which is different from most of these. Usually it's about half that size, and then it doesn't feel that comfortable. What's cool about this is see the hinges that it's on? This whole thing rotates. Now you take the table out, but it's one touch, move, and then that will position itself down here. You don't have to pull out any sort of support beams or anything. You just one flip it, and then you're ready to sleep. One thing that is kind of annoying with the campers is if you're going to be using the camper to sit in, to eat dinner or something, you have to get the camper ready before you're ready to go to bed, especially if you're going to be drinking while you're camping. If you drink too much, you can't set up your bed very well. And then you have to fumble around to do that. It's more of an inconvenience than you think it will be. Decent table here. Lots of room, lots of headroom in the upstairs there. And that's because the cab is so low down to the ground. You can get up here really easily because it's only like 130 centimeters up, 120 centimeters up. And it's a decent size for the upstairs here. Multiple windows. I don't like the wallpaper. You can see some screw holes in it. I don't like the headliner because it looks like a house from 1972. Okay, now let's, TV. That's a nicely mounted TV. Turn around here, we have fridge, thermostat here, big air conditioner unit. That has been custom put in after the fact, and that's going to make it really cool or really warm in here, depending on which temperature that you want it to be. So especially in the summer, that's going to be very, very nice to have. Much better than the usual roof-mounted ones. You can go to Santa Monica or Long Beach, which obviously you can't go to if you live in Japan, but this one's going to the US, so you actually officially can. There's this too. Some hangers, some remotes. It is 41 degrees in here. Oh no, that's humidity. Phew. Microwave up here. Okay, shower room. So there's a toilet and there's a little sink with shower head, and that shower head can be moved out of there, and you can pull that out and you can mount it. Well, usually you can mount it up. There's no mount actually there, but that's the idea with this. You can see now I can't put it in. Go in. Yeah, so you can shower. It's a little bit dirty in the corner. It doesn't smell that bad. Toilet, certainly usable. Okay, and let me just step in here. The floor is lower. Yeah, I can stand up fully in here, where I can't in the regular section of the camper, because this one has like 10 centimeters lower floor. Okay, get out. Sink. Dual taps on the sink. That's kind of interesting. It'll be hot and cold. Dual burners. Now you have to move over to a propane tank that's USA certified. But that's pretty simple. Just like changing a tank in a barbecue. You might have to change the fittings though. Okay, there's this. There's nothing in here. Looks like there's a false floor as well, but I can't get into it because of this. So there's something mounted underneath there. Okay, plugins, hooks, filter through rocks. That's interesting. Okay, Venetian style blind. A lamp up there. Here's a view of the ceiling, the 1972 ceiling. Lamp up there, a lamp up there, and a handle in order to help you stand up. There's two of them. Quite interesting. Okay, get more bread box. Okay, a flip down thing. Secured with a magnet. Toilet fan and light. Fridge is quite a bit bigger than these camper fridges usually are. And no bad smell inside. Okay, carpet. Carpet's dirty, but it's house style carpet. And there's a storage unit down here. A lot of Japanese apartments or houses have in-floor storage units like this, and so that's probably why you also see them in the campers here. People typically put vegetables inside them. No camp, no life. Looks like it's been drawn on with a Dremel. Okay, that one looks like it's a 300 watt inverter TV Blu-ray player, it says there. Okay, so I guess there's a Blu-ray player. And then bread box style up there. That looks like a place for wine, but I don't think it actually is. And then more bread box style cabinets there. Pass-through has a curtain. And removable pieces here and here if you want more room to pass through. Okay, screw holes there. I got a bunch of pictures that you can browse through for the interior as well. But that is your camper. Okay, if anyone has any questions about that, please let us know. You can check us out on our website, pacificcoastjtm.com. And there you have it. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching, and have a nice day.